Hi, Kim. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in from all the way from London. How did you get involved with the whole matter of fighting poverty through enterprise? And why do you think social enterprise is the way to go to elevate poverty, and all the more in the midst of COVID-19? I pick up something from one of your books that says, the continent of Africa receives 6 times the amount of money of a Marshall Plan. Okay, aid and donation and grants goes into the continent over the last 50 years. And yet, it has really not helped the continent very much. In fact, the more it goes in, the lesser the productivity goes. And I'd like to hear from you. Maybe you describe that journey yourself. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for the question, Melvin. I got into this really by accident. I became a disillusioned philanthropist because, like everybody else, I was, doing my donations to charities and thinking that that was going to change things on the ground, until I went on my first trip to South Africa some 20 years ago now, and went to the slum just outside Cape Town, and just became disillusioned. I saw very good-hearted, well-intentioned people running a very big charity there, helping people to make things by hand, clothes, furniture, shoes, craft, but they were all poor quality. And we all end up buying these products and services out of pity. And I thought, if we buy these things out of pity, we're never ever going to confer dignity on the people that produce them. And I thought I could write more charity checks, but nothing was going to change. And when you have money, the easiest thing to do is just to give money. What is hardest to do is to give your time. And I was at a stage when I had become financially independent, just a lucky timing, and took the decision to transition out of my mainstream biotech, venture capital, fund management, to start learning how to build businesses amongst the poor, real sustainable businesses amongst the poor. So that was the reason how I got started, and then started a process of transitioning out of mainstream biotech investing into what is now called social impact investing. When I started 20 years ago, there was no terminology, and I called it social venture capital because that was my background. As to why it's important, well, this COVID-19 pandemic is going to hit the poorest the hardest. Our current estimates in Africa, we will have about 90 to 100 million people who will be hungry. The reason is the main bulk of our economy in Africa are largely in the informal sector. These are people without any kind of government support, no pensions. Whereas in the West, the governments have enough wealth to be able to print money, as it were, and then parachute money into people on furlough. We can't do that in Africa. We just don't have that means. And so the longer this goes on, and my view as a scientist is that this is going to be a long, long process for us. We are just seeing a lot of suffering with people being hungry, and that has a lot of implications at social level, at family level, at the environmental level. Never mind the impact on the economy.